The job that I resigned in India was gone, and the job that I was supposed to join no more exists. 1 year or so, I lost my job twice. Both the times, I had nothing to do with it. I decided to take 2 years out of my life and figure out what I want to do next. So I did. But during this time, a lot of people were losing their jobs because of pandemic. Businesses were shutting down. And I knew one platform which could help. The 100% focus was to see if we can build a product that people would like. Few months later, we had more than 100,000 people who had taken growth school programs, over 5 crores in revenue, and all this with a team of just 5 people in a small house, 1 BHK in Bombay. A lot of people told me, Vaibhav, it's very hard for you to get funding. And the reason is, you tick all the red boxes very nicely. What do they mean? I was a single founder. I didn't have tech background. I didn't have a great product. And I was not from an IIT or IIM or anything like that. But all of them were wrong. We had one thing that most startups didn't have at that phase. We had traction. When we look at successful people around us, we think that they are successful because they have better degrees than us, maybe they speak better language, they come from top cities, they have better connections than us, and so on and on and on. You see, all of these are reasons to convince ourselves that we can't be them. You know what? If you feel the same, there is nothing wrong with it. Our society has told us not to think big. We should be comfortable with doing a government job, getting placed in a good company, have a successful life, but a steady life. Well, this is what everybody tells us, but I chose not to agree with people. Hi guys, my name is Vaibhav Sisinty. I'm the founder of this company called as Growth School, where you get a chance to learn from people who you want to become. There are folks from brands like Google, Facebook, Amazon, Apple, teaching you things that you can't learn anywhere else. And this, which was just an idea a few years back, has turned out to become a 200 crore company right now. And how did I do it? That's the story I want to share with you people. Post-12th, like any other Indian student, I joined an engineering college. When I joined an engineering college, it was a private college. It was not a fancy college like an IIT, ambit, SNITS, anything like that, right? And it came with a hefty fee. My fee was 10 lakhs and my father couldn't afford to pay for it. So we took a loan. But when I entered the college and the first few days, when students were asked what is their dream, what do they want to do after 4 years of engineering, most of the people came up with the answer which said they want to get into a job which would pay them 3 to 4 lakhs. It just didn't make sense to me. I spent 10 lakhs for education and I get paid 3 lakhs after 4 years. I knew I had to do something else. I knew I had to be different, so I fought for it. In my first year of engineering, I started my first startup which was called Discovering Android. And here, I shared all the experiences that I've had hacking my own Android and I put it on the internet. It went crazy. We had a lot of success, but Google didn't like us. You know, Google owns Android and they kind of blocked us from Google search. So everything went to zero. This is when a lot of teachers would come to me and say, listen, Vaibhav, you should come back, attend classes, score well, or else you might not get placed. I didn't listen. One thing that Discovering Android gave me, though it failed, was I knew how to build websites. I knew how to market. It gave me intangible skills which no one could take away from. So I built something called as Crazy Ads after that. Crazy Ads was a big success. We've won awards for that. We built a team. We did a revenue over 1 crore while I was a 20-year-old. And we had a very cool office as well. The best part about all of this was before I finished my 4 years of engineering, I managed to clear my 10 lakh education loan. And not just that, I was making 3 to 4 times more money than anybody else who had got the job from college. While building Crazy Ads was super cool and it was a lot of fun, my learning curve was going down. I thought if I had to make it bigger than Crazy Ads, 10x, 100x bigger, I need to learn. And that was going down, and that is when I accidentally joined Uber. Towards the end, I was supposed to move to Mexico City. My flight was next day. I had sold every furniture of mine. I let go my house. Next day was my flight, and I get a call 10 p.m. in the night after doing a party with my friends saying that, Vaibhav, your move has been cancelled. What does that even mean? That basically means the job that I resigned in India was gone and the job that I was supposed to join no more exists. I was all of a sudden jobless and I had 2 months to figure out what I want to do inside of Uber next. Well, this is when I questioned myself. I still had this insecurity, self-doubt inside of me. Am I actually capable? Did I get lucky getting into Uber? Is the reason why I'm doing well at Uber is because Uber is growing even faster? I was not able to weigh what I was capable of. And this time, when I was looking for opportunities, I did get some really good ones. I got bigger companies, I also got startups, and I chose to join a small startup. I had offers from biggest of the companies out there, and I also had this very interesting offer. That was from a travel company called as Klook. It was a small company which was trying to crack the market of India, and I thought if I can help them, then probably I know something. So I chose to take that challenge on. So I moved to Bombay for Klook, and guess what? In 1 year, we were able to scale the business to 4.5x. That was phenomenal. Everything was going great, and all of a sudden, something goes down again. Like always, right? Pandemic. COVID happens, and when COVID happened, travel got shut. Klook, after some months, they had to come to a decision where they had to shut multiple offices and lay off, and India was one of them. So, in a matter of 1 year or so, I lost my job twice. Both the times, I had nothing to do with it. Now, when I was in this point, I could think, life is not fair. How can this happen to me? Why not to someone else? So on and on and on. But I truly believed that whatever happens, happens for good. Look at the positive of it. There was one difference this time from Uber to Klook. This time, I was more confident. I knew I was capable. I knew I could do stuff. So, I took a new challenge. I said, I want to start up again. But do I have an idea? Don't have one. So what did I do? I decided to take 2 years out of my life and figure out what I want to do next. So I did. But during this time, a lot of people were losing their jobs because of pandemic. Businesses were shutting down. And I knew one platform which could help. That was LinkedIn. So I started to teach LinkedIn to people, right? And that was called as the LinkedIn workshop. Not even in my wildest imagination, I would have thought in 8 months, 25,000 people in India would pay more than 500 rupees to attend a class on Zoom. It happened and it blew my mind. And I kept on asking to people, why were they taking my course? Why were they even signing up for my program? And there was one answer that came out very strongly. People said they want to learn from people who they want to become. They saw themselves in me, a regular guy. And that's what hit me. That's what reminded me of the fact, wait, isn't this everything that is wrong with education? We are taught by people who are not practitioners or don't do things that they teach you. The things that we learn is not practically applicable. In fact, 83% of the people who have a degree, who are qualified, can't get a job. And number 3, the community, the people we are around is extremely important. We are an average of 5 people around us. And I thought this is fixable. And that's when the idea of Growth School came up. Well, what did I have to do? I had to get some amazing mentors and do a lot of things like website, logo, blah, 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 to get the show going. To kickstart this, what do I need? I need some great mentors. So I reached out in my network, managed to convince a few people to come teach at Growth School. After that, we needed a logo. Where do we go? We didn't have the money. We needed a website. Where do we go? We didn't have the money. We didn't have money for anything. We went to a free logo website to download a free logo. We went onto YouTube to learn how to make a website and build a website using no-code tools. And social media and all this we didn't really care about. The 100% focus was to see if we can build a product that people would like. Few months later, we had more than 100,000 people who had taken Growth School programs, over 5 crores in revenue, and all this with a team of just 5 people in a small house, 1 BHK in Bombay. At this juncture, we knew we are onto something big, but we want to make it bigger. We knew this could impact millions of users. We were doing education the way it should have been. We were convinced with it. And how do we go next? We thought to make this big, we need more money so that we can scale up. We build product, we get more people, we go international, so on and on and on. And for that, we wanted funding. Now, when I went out asking people, how do I go about it? A lot of people told me, Vaibhav, it's very hard for you to get funding. And the reason is, you tick all the red boxes very nicely. What do they mean? I was a single founder. I didn't have tech background. I didn't have a great product. And I was not from an IIT or IIM or anything like that. But all of them were wrong. We had one thing that most startups didn't have at that phase. We had traction. We had thousands of brilliant stories of people getting jobs, lives getting changed, and more importantly, us making money as a profitable business. We went out with our own strategy, and guess what? We managed to rope in 2 of the biggest VC funds in the world, Sequoia Capital and Owl Ventures. And not just that, we got backed by some of the phenomenal founders out there. More than 81 different angel investors invested into Growth School. This, when I think about it, sounds like a fairy tale. But my friends, this is actually true. You know, one super interesting thing that came out of this is we spend lakhs of rupees for our college degrees, which usually doesn't lead to anything for most of us. And here at 1 by 100 sometime, 1 by 50 sometime, 1 by 10th of the cost of a college, people were getting jobs, people were getting outcomes in matter of months. It was working, and this was true traction for us. And we knew there is one thing that VCs love a lot, and that is traction. Listen, I seeked inspiration from some phenomenal people as well. Look at Nikhil Kamath, look at Ritesh Agarwal, look at Kunal Shah. All of them had no fancy background, no background whatsoever in terms of business, but still managed to make it big. They have done it. I'm trying to do it. So can you. So let's get started.
अगर आप इस टॉक के एंड तक पहुंच चुके हैं तो मैं आपको जोश टॉक्स का एक दूसरा रूप भी दिखाना चाहता हूं, जिससे मैं काफ़ी देर से जुड़ा हुआ हूं और मुझे बहुत ज़्यादा पसंद है कि वो क्या कर रहे हैं। जोश टॉक्स ने एक नया ऐप लॉन्च किया है जिसका नाम है जोश स्किल्स। अब वो नया नहीं रहा, काफ़ी टाइम से है, लाखों लोग उसको अब यूज़ करते हैं। और जोश स्किल्स पे आप अपनी ज़िंदगी के लिए कोर्सेज ढूंढ सकते हैं। वो कोर्स नहीं जो आपको फिजिक्स, केमिस्ट्री, कॉमर्स, बिजनेस स्टडीज पढ़ाएंगे, वो कोर्सेज जो आपकी जिंदगी में आपको कैसे जीना चाहिए वो सिखाएंगे। मैंने खुद जो स्किल्स पे बहुत सारे कोर्सेज बनाए हैं, पब्लिक स्पीकिंग पे, इमोशनल क्राइसिस कैसे हैंडल किया जाए, अपनी पर्सनालिटी कैसे डेवलप की जाए। हर एक कोर्स में डेली क्विजेज हैं, एक्सरसाइजेज हैं, एक बहुत ही खूबसूरत कम्युनिटी है जो आपको सपोर्ट करेगी, आपको इनकरेज करेगी। आज ही डाउनलोड करें जोश स्किल्स का ऐप और उनके कोर्सेज एक्सप्लोर करके अपनी जिंदगी को आगे बढ़ाएं।
Josh Talks is now a Spotify exclusive podcast. The audio version of our talks will be available only on Spotify. If you like this video and you like to listen to more inspiring stories like this, please follow the Josh Talks podcast only on Spotify.
Tell us what you think about this video and don't forget to like, share and subscribe.